I have lost count of how many times has this happened when he's calling him, arrogant. He instead calls him that, you have a very myopic view of everything. It should be Tamilagam, it should be Tamil Nadu. But today, apparently, it's a kind of not a legal, but a small kind of matter of detail, as it were, Professor. DMK says that the practice followed in Tamil Nadu Assembly is to sing the Tamil Thai Varthu ahead of the governor's address, and the national anthem is played upon the conclusion of the address. Now, as one understands, apparently the governor left in a half 3 minutes, once the Tamil Thai song was played. Do you think that it almost looks like one is spoiling for a fight, Professor?
I think absolutely. I think you've summed up, the fact that this has become fairly routine. And it's just unfortunate. And I think you made this point, which is also very much on my mind. I think too much of newsprint, too much of airtime, too much of public attention is focused on what is really not so significant a matter. And I think it's important to ask why. Why are we getting so exercised by issues like this over and over again? And I think the short answer is it's in everybody's interests politically to make a mountain out of a molehill.
Right.
And really, if it was a custom in the Tamil Nadu Assembly to play the Tamil Thai, which is a prayer or an invocation first, so be it. I don't think it's a major issue. If there was a request from the governor that the national anthem be played after that, what's the problem with acceding to it? I don't see a problem really. But I think, I just regret that we live in a time where I think people want to milk such issues politically, and I think they distract from the larger issues concerning the state. And I think we need to also ask whether Governor Ravi really, we know he's uncomfortable about reading the speeches before. Last year, he omitted certain things. He, I think, added a couple of lines which sort of invoked a kind of censure from the assembly. And we can't ignore the fact that, we have someone who's really uncomfortable with just reading, the address that is sent to him, which is really his duty. So I think behind this entire issue are sort of larger issues like this, and then it gets dressed up as an issue of, whether someone's anti-national or whether someone's performing its constitutional duty. And I think it's truly regrettable that we're all assembled here, actually, whoever the guests are. And we need to discuss this on a Monday evening when I think we'll all be better occupied doing more important things.
Yeah, I know that. But the point is that the governor is a very important constitutional position. And whenever governments are being formed, and for various legalities, I mean, as under the constitution, one looks up to the governor and sees. So, what you're saying is that it's a waste of time. I do agree. But then both sides seem relentless. They want to take it further. Salem Dharnidharan, let me come to you, Salem Dharnidharan. The thing is that I somehow feel this is not the first time that the Honorable Governor is attending an assembly. This is not the first time. This is happening for the third time. The controversies have followed him. He does not read the speech which is prepared. The speaker, Appavu, has to read it. Then, certain things are inserted or omitted, which may be objectionable, etc., etc. I just don't understand. It's a technicality. As understood by me is that the Tamil Thai Varthu is played. Everyone stands up in reverence as it should be. Why not? And after that, the address and then the national anthem. This is not the question of who is being more Dravidian or more Tamil than the other. Dharnidharan?
Where is the question of anyone being anything comes? There's nothing here. The whole point is this is not the first time or only after 2021 DMK came to power. There's all these procedures are taking place. Ever since the country became a republic and states are being formed, these are the procedures that have been followed. Of course, Tamil Thai also, Tamil Nadu got an exemption, and this clause is now followed across India. Right. So this is not the first time it's happening. But the point is the governor every time he comes finds one problem or other and he leaves. 2 years back, he walked away when national anthem was being sung. He walked away during the national anthem was sung. Last year he gave some other drama. So basically he wants drama. So are these conventions introduced by the DMK government in 2021? No, these have been the conventions established by the constitution. For example, you are the anchor of the show, right? You can't be the spokesperson of the DMK or Congress or the BJP, or I come as a spokesperson, can't be an anchor. So we all have separate roles and responsibilities. As a governor, his roles and responsibilities are that he has only duties, constitutional duties to perform. That has been explicitly made clear in the constitution, in the constitutional debate, as well as in the Supreme Court verdicts. Supreme Court, in fact, several judgments have said the governor is nothing but shorthand expression for the State Council of Ministers,
right.
which means that he only one opinion of the state legislature. In fact, in constitutional debate, I have to mention an important point. When there was a discussion going on, and they said, why can't we elect a governor? And then they said, no, we can't elect the governor, because if the governor is elected, probably he will run a parallel government.
Okay.
So we should only be appointed. The reason why he's appointed is because there shouldn't be a misunderstanding that governor can govern or governor can administer.
But I do understand that. But Dharan, it seems like there is one is spoiling for a fight. You and I can have a conversation, but every time I'm provoking you, it's a waste of man hours, it's waste of good work which needs to be done by both the government. I mean, what is this? They are not children, who are sparring over a pencil. Who does it belong to? Kasturi Shankar, let me bring you in here, Kasturi. This is, like I said, this must be the 12th or the 13th time. I've done many stories on this. And it is important because the governor holds a constitutional position, and Stalin and his government, they are the ruling dispensation in Tamil Nadu. One can't ignore this. But don't you feel that sometimes it is just that, okay, here I am looking for an opportunity to just pounce at you? Would you say, maybe I am wrong, but would you say perhaps the governor could have waited, Kasturi, because after all, the national anthem or the Janagana Mana is played after the address is over. So it is just a bit of a technicality, no, Kasturi, like we did in schools. You can't go ahead.
With your background in Tamil Nadu, you know that we have an idiom which is, we have sung Janagana Mana. That literally translates to the proceedings have gotten over and it is time for the national anthem, then everybody goes home. This has been the age-old practice in Tamil Nadu in any event, whether government, whether official, whether corporate, or whether it's in school or anywhere. If it's a private event or a public event, this has been the general practice. Now the DMK Tamil government brought in the government order that we have to sing the Tamil Thai Varthu in the beginning. Okay. So now that's an addition. But as far as I know, there are very few instances that I have been part of where the national anthem is sung in the very beginning of an event. And as far as the Legislative Assembly is concerned, and again, Mr. Dharan will vouch for the fact that I'm one of the strong critics of the DMK government, and yet one has to admit that in all these years, be it an ADMK government or a DMK government, in all these years, it has been practiced to sing the Tamil Thai Varthu in the beginning and the national anthem in the end. That's how it has been.
So do you think the governor jumped the gun, maybe? I mean, with due respects to him.
Let's say this. Mr. Governor, Honorable Governor RN Ravi has gained a reputation of being a trigger-happy fault finder, and he is not doing any favors to the central disposition with this kind of a very hostile attitude. He seems to literally every event that he takes part in, he uses it as an opportunity to pick a bone with the ruling dispensation. So this is not doing any favors to the central government or its leadership, because if you notice, Sudhaji, the DMK ministers go to Delhi and they are all pally and they are extremely respectful. They release photos with the
Right.
finance minister, with the prime minister, and Modi ji is the chief guest for the World Chess Conference, World Chess
Right.
contest. And so it's, Khelo India Games. So from an official point of view, they cooperate. Both the governments cooperate
as it
with
should
each
be.
other.
As it
And,
should be.
Yeah, and both the leaders
Yeah,
are
right.
amicable in public. So the governor taking a different stance to the central government stance is very unusual, and
All right.
it goes against everything. And my biggest problem is public
Right, okay.
today don't
Yeah.
care.
Yeah.
They don't care about national anthem or governor or chief minister.
Yeah,
or
it
they don't
seems
care
like-
about
yeah, yeah.
protocol.
Yeah.
What they
All right,
care
okay.
is about the Anna University issue.